Lanigathon for pro boxing fans, delighted to be joined by Eddie Hearn. Eddie, fight day 5K just completed. Tell us the time.
25-23.
It's decent, that.
A lot of hills.
Do you find the athletic journey has struggled a bit with how busy a boxing schedule?
I do actually, yeah. To be honest with you, like, it is hard work. It is hard work. But I did that's about 20k I've done this week. So I find that I never ever did weights till I was probably about 2 years ago, and I'm doing a lot more weights. But the run for me, mentally, physically as well, I don't think there's anything better. And I think also, obviously, I'm not a fighter, far from it, but
that's not what Ben Shalom says.
We'll see where the future goes. But I think running, there's a lot of science about running, and the reality is that all great runners, you know, when I was talking to Floyd the other week in the gym, he said he would run nearly every day. The old school would always put the road work in, always, and I don't think there's any substitute for it. I know there's the new mechanics and sports science, but the reality is those hard runs, they build character as well as, you know, your fitness functions as well. So yeah, for me, helps me get through the stress and the workload. Really, try and run at least 3 times a week.
Are people going to see the sub 20-minute Eddie Hearn 5K? Do you think?
I was actually looking at my times. Last year I was running 22:50. Now I'm struggling to break 25. But
we move
times and the age. 46 this year. I can't believe it.
Good turnout today. Honestly, the buzz around this city. I know promoters will say that every time they go, but there is a serious buzz in Belfast for Crocker Donovan tonight.
Yeah, but they know they're boxing. So like, what's different about here is, you know, you're walking out on the street, you're getting a taxi, you go for a coffee, people are coming up and they're talking about the show, they're talking about the fight, they're talking about the undercard. They know they're boxing here. When you put on a good show, they come out. And this is a brilliant show. You know, I think the fight, the main event itself is just a brilliant 50-50, but there are 6 50-50 fights on this card, even 2 and before the bell section as well. So, you know, it's a great night of boxing. You'll see, I mean, you know, like the atmosphere is going to be really special. And I'm buzzing, you know, for the size and everything of the whole event in Saudi last week. This is the weekend that I've been looking forward to for a long time, and you'll see it tonight live on DAZN.
Obviously, we well documented the winner goes into final eliminator mandatory at some point for the IBF. Where does the loser go here, Eddie?
I think still in big fights at 147, but just not at world level. You know, this is normally you'd kind of want to take 2 undefeated prospects their separate ways and try and position them separately, but these 2 just happened to be called for a final eliminator. They both accepted it. They both happen to be, you know, one from Belfast, one from Limerick. The narrative, the storyline, 2 trainers in Billy and Andy Lee, 2 undefeated fighters. It's a massive fight for the winner because they're getting very well paid tonight, but ultimately the winner will go on and fight either Boots Ennis or Stanionis, or a vacant welterweight title, or Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez. You know, and you've seen from the support, like obviously I think there's still potential to do something in Limerick or down south, but Lewis Crocker's got massive support. And, you know, if he wins tonight, he's going to be in a great position to bring big fights to Belfast and Paddy, you know, to Limerick, or even we've seen him fight internationally in America as well.
Just away from the night, we talked yesterday, you said Simon Jordan's devastated at the traction, that Eubank Junior Ben's happening, that how much excitement there is for it. Why do you think he's got such a bee in his bonnet about this fight?
I don't think he really likes me. He don't like me, and I think that's given him the perception and attitude towards Conor Benn. Everyone treats people differently. Like if you look right now, I'm not going to start calling out names, but the reality is there's fighters around the world and in this country who have, you know, much deeper test results than what Conor Benn had, and automatically they're fighting again in Britain after what, 6 months, or you're like, it doesn't make sense. He had to battle and spend 7 figures for over 2 years to clear his name 3 times, and still when he wins his case, they still don't acknowledge that he won his case. They just go, oh yeah. It's like, what do you mean, oh yeah? It's like going to court and winning your case in court, and then everyone going, oh yeah. It's like, you can't win. So you forget about idiots. You know, the classic saying, don't argue with an idiot. And the reality is his anger and his emotion is getting in the way of his common sense. And like he said the other day, you hear what he said? Chris Eubank whacks Conor Benn round the face with an egg. What's wrong with that? Oh, I don't see a problem with that. You imagine Conor Benn done that? He'd be saying he should be banned immediately. You got kids. How many kids were on this run today from local boxing clubs? You think that we should let them see someone whack someone round the face at a press conference? No. The problem is with society today, we're so desensitised to things. That's okay. That's normal. It's not okay. That's not within the rules of boxing. That's not how to behave. We know we're building a fight, but you don't slap someone around the face with something. It's just unacceptable. But it's all right. It's sold the fight even bigger. I get the world we live in, but I'm not going to sit there and say that's fine, because it's not fine, because we can't tell people that's fine, because it's not. But Simon Jordan's telling people that's fine. And if it was someone that Simon Jordan didn't like, he'd be spitting blood. But he's got a radio show to run, and he does it very well.
A lot's been made of you and Simon's relationship over the years, obviously the appearance of talks. What does Conor Benn think of Simon Jordan?
Never really spoke to him about it, but what do you think he thinks of him? Do you know what I mean? Look, Simon Jordan, like I said, Simon Jordan's got a job to do. And if Simon Jordan doesn't get controversy, doesn't spin narrative, doesn't hit ratings, he's out of a job. So he's got to stay in a job by doing that kind of stuff. As long as the people understand the way he treats certain people versus other people, then I don't mind. Look, like I said, he's got a job to do, and he's very good at his job.
A couple other bits and balls before I let you go. Obviously, Crocker Donovan, not the only boxing tonight. Tank back in action. Watched a scrum he done for 45 minutes actually, but he talked about the Shakur fight, and there does seem to be that reluctance. Doesn't want to give it too much oxygen. Doesn't seem particularly keen on the fight.
I don't know why. Like, that's the best fight in boxing. One of the best fights. Who else is there for Tank to fight? I don't know. He's talking weird a little bit. Like, I don't know whether his love's gone. He may get beat tonight.
You think so?
I don't think he will, but he may get beat tonight. If he wins by stoppage, he'll be behind when he's winning by stoppage, as he normally is. And that's why I believe Shakur will beat him, because Shakur will win rounds against Tank, and I'm not sure Tank will be able to get hold of him. So I don't know the reluctance to talk about that fight or make the fight. It's a unification fight. Two brilliant undefeated American fighters. One of the biggest fights in the sport. And you say, no, why would I fight Shakur? What do you mean, why would you fight Shakur? He's the best fighter in the world, I think. See.
Shakur's always been very respectful about Tank and saying, but that sort of changed, I've noticed in the past couple of weeks. He seems to be getting a bit fed up.
That's because he doesn't want to give Tank an excuse not to take the fight. So he's giving him the credit. He's saying he's the A side. You know, we'll take less money than you're going to. Shakur just wants the opportunity. Shakur's a 3-division world champion at 27, never broken sweat. And he just wants to fight the best in the sport. So you can't knock it.
Johnny Fisher, Dave Allen rematch done? That's what people are saying?
Not done, but very close. Johnny will be there tonight, so he's instructed me to make the fight. I've been talking to Dave Allen, which is not always easy, but we feel we've been very fair. You know, it's twice as much money than he made for the first fight. We can't do any more than that. If he wants it, it's there for him.
Bam Rodriguez?
We want Bam Rodriguez against Puma Martinez in June, and if we can't make that fight in the next 7 days, we'll give Bam another fight in May.
Move up or still at the Superfly?
Where he is, and we want to try and win the belts. 118.
Eddie, last one. Why should people tune in to Crocker Donovan tonight?
Because you're going to witness a brilliant card. 6 50-50 fights. Just the atmosphere pumping through the TV. Very, very special night in Belfast for nights like this. We haven't had one for a while here. And you will be looking around. You'll be one of those moments just before the ring walk for the main event. Sweet Caroline, whatever's playing. You'll be looking around saying, this is a bit of me. So have a great night.
Eddie, I'll let you get a shower. Cheers.